So you make all of these guns?
Yes, ma'am. Manufacturer, yeah, from scratch.
Ricky Doss has been building and selling guns for 5 years, mostly at gun shows like this one, but also online.
How many of these are you making a month?
Give or take 200.
And how many are you selling?
Give or take 200.
Ricky is one of about 80,000 licensed firearm dealers in the U.S. So before any of those sales happen, he's required to run a background check on the buyer. But a federal rule change set to begin in mid-May will expand the definition of who qualifies as a dealer.
Yeah, about 15 minutes.
Okay.
To include anyone who sells a gun for a profit. It will close a loophole that has allowed guns to be sold without background checks at gun shows and online. It won't impact Ricky, but he still doesn't like it.
I think that they're chipping away at the Second Amendment. I don't believe that it's right. Honestly, it's just their way of getting a step closer to gun control.
The Department of Justice estimates that more than 20,000 unlicensed dealers will be brought into the regulatory fold, helping, they say, to keep guns out of the hands of dangerous people. Licensed dealers we spoke to said upwards of 20% of background checks come back rejected.
Nearly 16 million guns were sold in the United States last year alone. It's hard to know how many of them were sold at gun shows like this one, but the statistic often cited puts it somewhere between 4 and 9%.
They come back to buy on Sunday.
Darwin Bedeker has been organizing gun shows for more than 20 years and doesn't believe background checks actually work. He says if someone wants a gun, they'll find a way to get it.
Mental illness cannot be fixed with a piece of paper. And a background check is a piece of paper, and mental illness is mental illness. And no amount of filling out government regulations and policies and permits is going to persuade or prevent that from happening.
The research on the effectiveness of background checks is mixed. A report by the Rand Corporation last year found their impact on mass shootings is inconclusive.
2 shots, fire!
But other studies show that states with background check laws already on the books have a 10% lower homicide rate.
Preliminary data suggests that states that have expanded background checks, states that have a waiting period, they can have reductions in suicides, they can have reductions in mass shootings, they can have reductions in violence that is perpetrated with a firearm.
Experts say enforcement will be key, the deciding factor on whether expanded background checks are effective or simply symbolic. Toni Waterman, CGTN, San Marcos, Texas.